The fucking chef right here whipping up the. Look at him, bro. Dan's like the chef in the kitchen.
The best way to stay healthy is by making sure you're putting the right things in your body, which is easier said than done when you're trying to figure out the right diet and supplements to take. Good news. Cardimax Immune Booster has you covered. Right now, American Party Podcast listeners get 30% off your next 4 orders. Use the promo code American at cardimax.com. That's CARDOMAX.com, helping you achieve your max.
Climax, that is. Dude, I'm not going to lie. So just for the listeners out there, you know, they all know that we have Dan, and you used to call him Fake Dan.
I didn't call him anything. People said that. Folks in the audience didn't care for that nickname, so they've come up with a variety of additional ones, most of which are more apropos than Fake Dan, because it's not like he's pretending that's his name. No,
I agree, and I think what we should do is, I think he's Dan Jr. You know, I think he's Dan. How old are you back there, Dan Jr.?
30.
And how old are you? You're like 52.
I'm 40, so.
You're 40.
Technically, it's possible.
Yeah, I think it's realistic, and I think that Dan Jr.
You think it's realistic that I was getting laid at 10 years old, though? Probably not.
Really?
I was mostly.
Really? How old were you when you got laid?
I had not.
10 and a half.
Yeah, 10 and a half. I had not started doing acid yet. It was later that year.
Yeah.
So, and technically, if he
was. Well, so check it out.
But I would have had to impregnate his mother somewhere in the 9-year-old range, because it takes 2 years for a baby to be born, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. And I think that if you do acid, it makes it even longer. So I technically think that you for sure could have done it. I mean, I'm a doctor, and I
don't think acid has anything to do with your cum.
Well, it does, for sure. You didn't know that?
No, I've done a lot of acid, and I've blown a lot of cum.
How many kids you got?
0.
Well, that's because the more acid you do, the longer it takes for those swimmers.
No,
honestly, this is science, okay? It's definitely about the same amount of science as there is into these masks we have to wear. So,
yeah.
And the vaccine. But what I wanted to say is acid does make your sperm, instead of getting with the eggs, the sperm eats the egg.
That's how it works, though, right?
Yeah.
I thought the egg ate the sperm, because I don't like the idea of, I eat eggs, I guess. It makes sense.
Hey, and I don't know why I was thinking about this week, but I wanted to bring it up on the show because it's really been bothering me. So I feel like God hates women.
Religion hasn't been very kind to women, but you mean like the menstrual cycle?
No.
And then menopause? It's a pain in the ass.
I'm going to say why he likes men more than women.
Okay.
He requires a man to orgasm to reproduce and not a woman. So I think there's one or two things there. Either A, he likes men more, or B, he thinks men are so stupid that if it was on a man to require a woman to orgasm, then we would be fucking extinct. Which one do you think it is?
I don't think God exists, Dakota. I think the whole thing you just said is fucking stupid.
Whoa. You don't think God exists?
I don't see any reason to believe that, no.
Well, he 100% does.
Well, why would it be a dude in the first place?
Why?
Correct. Exactly. So let's move on to what we're actually here to talk about, which is not fucking fairy tales. It is interesting to think about, though, what the purpose of the female orgasm is, evolutionarily speaking.
Yeah. I mean, what is the purpose?
Yeah, I don't think there is one, but it's fun. So I like doing it.
You're not, like, first off.
I like giving my girlfriend orgasms.
You do?
Yeah.
How do you know? Why, first off, why do you think you're giving them to her and she's not taking them from you?
Yeah, fair enough.
You know?
I'm fine with either way. As long as it happens for her, that's really what matters.
Dude, you're so thoughtful.
No.
Listen to how sweet guys, do y'all see this? Dan, do y'all see how thoughtful Dan is? Dan's really turned over a new leaf, right? This is pretty cool, Dan.
What do you mean turned over a new leaf?
You're so thoughtful.
I'm always thoughtful.
I just want to do that for her.
Yeah. I mean, she's certainly good.
She's earned it by putting up with your ass.
Yeah, and she does it for me. So.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm a doctor.
You keep trying to
tell me I'm a doctor.
You keep trying to wedge that into conversations where it doesn't really belong.
Say I'm a fucking doctor.
No. That's not going to happen. We're here today
Whatever.
to talk about bad trucks, or as author Douglas Murray likes to call them, naughty lorries. Lorry, L-O-R-Y, is obviously like a truck. Mm-hmm. Not like a Ford F-150, but like a delivery truck or something.
Yeah.
In Wee Britain over there. And it is, I'm sure a lot of you have probably figured it out by now what we're talking about, and that's that
this whole thing was crazy.
They're blaming trucks on stuff that people did. In the same way that Ilhan Omar said some people did some things in reference to terrorists flying planes into buildings and killing 3,000 people.
And it's the plane's fault.
Right. Well, I mean, it's all in the wording, right?
Well, I mean, let's look at the reference here, though. She married her brother.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with marrying your brother?
No.
I mean, is that even legal? Like, is that even legal to legally be married to your brother inside the... I mean, like, what state allows that?
It's not legal to smoke weed, but I do it every single day.
I mean, again, though, like, you don't think that marrying your brother's going to jack up genetics?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, okay. over time,
yeah.
It will. But, you know, look, man, she probably didn't have a whole lot of options because she's a cunt. See how that works? I'm just trying to be...
yeah, I mean, obviously you're being really understanding today.
I'm very progressive.
Wait a minute. Are you high?
Not really.
Yeah, smoke. Hit that again. Let's come back to this conversation after you get a couple hits in you. Yeah, let's hear. Yeah, there you go. Get it? Yeah. This is I knew something was off with you, Dan. When I got here, I knew something was off. And as a doctor, I think you should stay on your meds. Okay.
Thanks.
Oh God. I mean, you're my hero.
Thanks.
You're my fucking hero.
So on Sunday, November 21st, Daryl E. Brooks, I'm not sure what the E stands for.
Edward.
He drove his SUV through a Christmas parade in downtown Waukesha, Wisconsin. More than 60 people, 18 of whom were children, were injured in the attack, and 6 people have been killed, including an 8-year-old boy. 7 children remain hospitalized, 3 in serious condition, 3 in fair, 1 in good. I don't know what that means. After fleeing the scene, the guy went to a stranger's house and posed as a homeless man in need of help to gain entry to hide from police.
And got a sandwich.
Yeah.
Is that what you do, like, after you do this shit?
Yeah. Police tracked Brooks to the home where he was then taken into custody. He's being charged with 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. And prosecutors are considering adding a 6th homicide charge for the death of the 8-year-old who passed away in the hospital. I don't know why they would not add that charge.
So why, let me ask you this. What's the difference between homicide and murder?
Homicide is just killing somebody. I mean, you get charged with homicide.
So why wouldn't this be murder?
Well, Wisconsin has different words. Instead of having first and second degree murder, they have intentional and unintentional homicide.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Check.
So
it's like an easier way. It's like a more soft way.
Sort of, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. It's more politically correct.
This dude's got a criminal record spanning more than 20 years, which includes multiple convictions for domestic abuse, raping and impregnating a teenager, and many other violent crimes.
That is fucking...
In 2016, police arrested Brooks in Nevada for failing to obey sex offender laws, which Brooks himself described in a video where he admitted to impregnating a minor and claimed to have been her pimp. Video that he posted on the internet. Smart guy. In July of 2020, Brooks was charged with 2 felony counts, second-degree recklessly endangering safety and possession of a firearm by a felon after shooting his nephew during a fight over an old cell phone.
It's probably a flip phone, one of those razors.
Yeah. Initially, his bail was set at $10,000, which was then reduced to $7,500 and finally dropped to $500 after arguments made by his attorney. Only days before the attack, Brooks had been released on a $1,000 bond after being arrested for punching the mother of his child and then running her over in his car during a domestic dispute.
And hold on.
Same car.
So...
Yep. Let it sink in.
Yeah. So Kyle... So Rittenhouse, how much was his bond? $2 million?
Yeah.
And this dude gets out for $1,000 fucking dollars?
Right. Because he only killed white people. Wait,
What?
so did Rittenhouse. Oh, shit. He didn't kill black people? He's not a racist? Despite the deadly attack on the Christmas parade and a long history of criminal activity, media outlets and even the Waukesha police chief seem intent on referring to the event as an accident or blaming the car instead of the person behind the wheel.
So just real quick on the police chief, until it's been proven in court, if he came out and said it was intentional, he would be held liable. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to keep out of the, until it goes through the system and he's been prosecuted. That's what he's doing, for sure.
Yeah.
But the media, I mean, fuck, they've never been held accountable for anything.
The only thing we can really do about this is to ban cars.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think
this guy who misused a car in a violent way was allowed to just get a car again and drive it. That's how stupid your fucking gun arguments sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is... None of this stuff is any fucking surprise. These people are fucking dum-dums. The media and political response has been pretty interesting, considering that the Rittenhouse thing wrapped up, Jacob Blake wrapped up, or not Jacob Blake, yeah, was it Jacob Blake? No, it was the other guy, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. That case wrapped up, and this one started, or this incident happened all within about a 2-week period. So you've seen on full display how insipid and nonsensical these fucking leftist arguments are about how, well, if he was a black person, then blah, blah, blah. Like, no, because that just happened.
This just happened, and here it is.
Literally just happened, you stupid fuck, and the outcome is the opposite of what you said it would be. And then the other part of that is this dude has been making fucked up posts about hating white people and wanting to attack people for years. We see the Ahmaud Arbery trial, armed Black Panthers, which is a terrorist organization, standing outside the courthouse. Nothing gets done. The BLM leader in New York tells the mayor of New York
there will be
blood in the streets if they don't get what they want. And this dude can drive a car through people. See, we're being a little too nice.
Way too nice.
Sometimes people are just assholes. Like, I'm all about helping people get up to my level, but if they are then, or if they're trying to pull me down or bury me in some way or profit off of my misery, that's not going to work for me. Like, imagine that very basic human instinct or instinct of all living things to protect their own existence is now being pushed away as some kind of fucking unethical, selfish power structure thing. Like trying to protect your species, basically, or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I was arguing with some idiots today about the food supply chain and veganism and shit. And there was several people that were really adamant about what right do we have to eat animals? Like they're just as important as us. I'm like, man, if you're a sentient being of any sort, and your instinct is to do worse for yourself for somebody that's not in your species even, then I think maybe you missed something at some point.
Yeah.
Like there was a day of school that you should have been paying more attention in.
In kindergarten?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Really fucking stupid. Anyways, social media posts made by Brooks present extremist views and support for groups such as BLM, the Black Panther Party, and the Black Hebrew Israelites, which is a fun group. Following the attack, the police chief, Daniel Thompson, essentially treated the incident as a mass casualty event. Thompson, who previously helped organize the BLM march last year, by the way, has also been reluctant to associate Brooks' political views with the attack. Now, this was not the case. Police all over the fucking place, this guy included, made comments about Rittenhouse and what his possible motivations may have been and referred to him as a shooter.
Even the presidential.
The president of the United States.
Presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nobody. But again, we've talked about this so many times. It's a double standard, right? It's a double standard on accountability on what the. And I even hate getting into saying the left and the right, right? Like, none of these groups hold their own accountable, right? Like they want to hold everybody else accountable, but they don't want to. Mm-hmm. But I also understand why they're doing it. They think that as soon as they hold their own accountable, they give more ammunition to the other one. Mm-hmm. And what they don't realize is that honestly it gives them more credibility than it takes away from them.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, so my point there's 2 points to be made here. One, that regardless of what the race or any other identifying feature of the person is, that is a single person representing themselves in an act that they're doing for themselves, unless it's part of some kind of terrorist organization.
Yeah.
Right? So that's an asshole. And to be honest, probably 2% of people are assholes, like real assholes. That's a lot of fucking people. It's a lot. There's 330 million people in this fucking country. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be represented a lot.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean that one white kid with an AR or some dummies, like these instances are so infrequent. The vast majority of people don't get killed by some fucking stranger out looking for some kind of racist or political end.
No.
They get murdered by people they know.
No, yeah. I mean,
almost always. It's like 80% plus for every race. When they're murdered, it's by the same race. So this whole fucking notion that somebody might be on, like, or the culture at large might be out on an organized hunt for the motherfuckers. No. So I don't think that this stupid bitch's views and his violent actions reflect on anybody other than himself. He's the person that did that shit. He's the person who should be held responsible. That's the end of that.
And he has to be, right?
Yeah. But I think it's important, the frequency with which the media monoliths people, like, look at how liberals respond to this or conservatives respond to this. Yeah. Like, which liberals and which conservatives exactly responded that way? And can I hear the question and answer so I can decide for myself if you people are full of shit? Anyways, CNN has published multiple articles that refer to the attack as a crash or tragedy and have rarely mentioned Brooks' name. I think there was only one article with his name in the headline, actually. So there have been phrases like, or here are some of the titles of the articles they've run. A sixth victim has died after the Waukesha Christmas parade crash. Waukesha parade crash suspect appeared to have no emotion as officer tried to stop him, authorities say. Now, how many times did you see Rittenhouse's name in the paper?
Every fucking time.
More than a dozen remain hospitalized after deadly parade crash. You could read that headline and think it was an accident. Behind the prosecutor who acknowledged suspects intentionally low bail.
Inappropriately
Low, yeah.
I'm a doctor.
Thanks. Waukesha held a moment of silence on Sunday, 1 week after a man plowed a vehicle through a Christmas parade. Again, didn't say his name.
This is weird, right?
Very bizarre, yeah, that they're hiding this guy. CNN article primarily identified Brooks as, quote, a driver or, quote, a man, and often placed more blame on the vehicle than Brooks himself. For example, more than a dozen people remain hospitalized after a driver rammed an SUV through a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Shortly before an SUV barreled into a crowd of parade marchers on Sunday, ... And a child has died after a man allegedly rammed his SUV through a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Nobody gives a fuck what vehicle it is.
Boy. A tweet from CNN posted 1 week after the attack also placed blame on the vehicle. The tweet caption was, Waukesha will hold a moment of silence today, marking 1 week since a car drove through a city Christmas parade, killing 6 people and injuring scores of others. A car. Kit from fucking Knight Rider or Herbie the fucking Love Bug. Right? No, it was a man.
Yeah.
An asshole man.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit who turned his vehicle into a weapon. No different than if he had grabbed a gun or a knife. He got in it. He weaponized his vehicle with intent to kill people.
Right.
These are the facts. These are the facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know this because after you have an accident, do you get out and run away?
Yeah.
Do you get out and go run and then, what's even crazier is what the man did afterwards, right? Like he went to, he got away. And first off, I don't know how he got away, right? Like he got away and
wasn't a cop shooting at him?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure one of the stories I read said that it was a cop that was firing at the.
So how does he get away?
I have no idea.
How the fuck did even though I know
Maybe the cops stopped to treat the wounded instead of chase the suspect, which is not really how you're supposed to do that. But I understand that.
But again, it's a Christmas parade. again, I want to go back. We talk about this all the fucking time. The whole situation is fucked up. Okay, let's say there's only one cop. What's the chances of that being, right? At a Christmas parade. Mm. Well, how many motherfuckers are standing around?
Well, for a permit,
don't you think
for a parade in a city like that, you gotta get a permit. For a permit, you gotta have a health and safety plan. Typically,
okay. So
you have to hire security guards or EMS or something.
Well, either way, how many citizens are standing around? Why would you let this motherfucker get away?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's a standing by and watching situation, right? And then the guy, he runs in. I read a couple stories on this where he ran into this man's house, sits down, and I think the man made a sandwich for him, right? The guy pretended to be homeless. The guy made a sandwich for the man. The man sat on the couch. He made a call to his mom. Was it his mom?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
He made a phone call to one of his family members, and he let me find this story. He made a phone call to one of the family members, and basically lied about the whole story. And then he started getting nervous as he's eating a sandwich on the guy's couch because the cops are outside and finally dialed in on him.
Well, honestly, that's not the dumbest thing I've ever heard, that he tried to sneak in somebody's house like he belonged there, but the way this case is being, it's just so weird. I don't know if we've seen an example of back-to-back how the entire media and leftist apparatus tried to trash Kyle Rittenhouse every chance they got.
Yeah.
To them intentionally trying to obfuscate the name and race of this guy because of who he is and what he represents, or at least in their mind what he represents. If you're a part of a fucking Major League Baseball team and there's 26 of you on a roster and 2 of you do something fucked up, then yeah, that might represent the organization a little bit. Maybe. But if some small percentage, like the idea about white supremacy, 65% of the country is white, and there's only 10,000 white supremacists in organizations. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not even a drop in a bucket of water. And if there's such a big deal, go fucking kill these people or something. Throw them in prison forever. If you know enough to know there's that many, then what are you doing about it? But that doesn't represent these. Oh my God, this shit drives me crazy. And then you see, obviously, that's what they're scared of. They're scared of. They think that white conservatives still think of black and brown people as criminals. Yeah. Which is weird because it wasn't ever white conservatives that thought that. It was white liberal Democrats in the fucking South that thought that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like fucking stupid.
None
of this shit makes any goddamn sense.
But when you erase history, when you don't teach history and the facts anymore, what do you expect?
Yeah, I don't know. And there's no appetite for actually punishing people. I'm not sure I agree with the prohibition in the Bill of Rights on cruel and unusual punishment. Like, if there are cruel and unusual crimes, why can't there be cruel and unusual punishment? You know what I mean? Like, fire a dude out of a cannon into a fucking brick wall.
Well, why don't you? I mean, how do you not kill? Like, why do we even pay for this guy to sit in jail?
If somebody is like a petty thief or keeps getting caught doing some kind of low-level stupid shit that maybe there's a financial victim, but it's not violent, it is what it is. I mean, ultimately, you got to fucking square that dude away, but if it's somebody that shows a repeated history of violence over the years, I mean, launch that motherfucker into the ocean.
Like, how many more people does this motherfucker have to hurt?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why is his life?
I think you get one do-over.
Why do we? But I mean, this dude killed 6 people already. 8, almost 8, right? 7.
Well, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about what we know about violence is 2 things. It's either rage and it's immediate, or it's planned, like this one clearly was. And it takes time, like a serial killer, right? All you white ladies out there, you've watched the serial killer documentaries. They start slow and they build. And we see this all the goddamn time. This guy who goes from impregnating a minor girl and slapping her around to then shooting his fucking relative over a cell phone, and then to running over his own baby's mother with a car, right? Of course, the next step was going to be to actually go out and murder people.
Hey, and I want you to see this. So I'm looking at CNN's video that they showed. They stop it. Now check it out. Did they show Rittenhouse shooting people?
Over and over again.
They stopped the video. I'm watching it right now. They stopped the video right before his car plows in. They don't show him running over the people.
Yeah.
They stop it right before.
Well, that's definitely planned. Man. It's not just CNN, though. The Washington Post also posted a tweet placing the blame on the vehicle instead of Brooks. Their tweet caption was, "Here's what we know so far on the sequence of events that led to the Waukesha tragedy caused by a SUV." Caused by
an SUV.
An SUV.
I mean, that makes sense.
Are you fucking kidding me with that?
Who? This is who? The Washington Post?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The article linked in the tweet repeatedly refers to the SUV in place of the driver. So this is a Washington Post article. Quote, "The SUV continued down White Rock Avenue, then turned onto westbound Main Street, just behind the start of the parade route, period." Quote, "The position of that barricade did not block a right-hand turn from White Rock Avenue, which meant the SUV was behind the barricade when it turned onto Main Street." They're clearly trying to not say this man's name, because when they say his name, people Google that.
For sure.
And then over time, all the search results, because of the algorithm, will show him instead of a fucking plain SUV.
And you ready for how they're going to justify it? Well, we don't want to give the criminal all the credit, right? Like we don't want to make the criminal famous. This is what creates copycat effects, right?
It's not up to you, media.
Yeah.
It's not up to you. Your job is to be a portal for information, not a lens or a filter. Certainly not someone who decides what we can and can't see. You stupid fucks.
Yeah, it is fucked.
While media outlets like CNN and the Washington Post have acknowledged Brooks' criminal background, they have refrained from mentioning his social posts pertaining to his ideological views, which are a lot of people said that he was making pro-Hitler posts. But from what I've seen, what he actually said was even Hitler knew who the real Jews were, which is a black Hebrew Israelite thing where they think they were the first Jews or some shit, which is, fucking retarded. Let's be honest. It's fucking retarded. This guy's a fucking retard. He also said on many occasions to people that they should go out and fuck up white people. So, as the police chief in this situation, as a black man in America that wants to be honest about things, and that's what I would expect from a fucking police chief, you don't have to say that he intentionally did it. What you can say is, this man did these things. He posted these things.
What you can see
And you can
is,
stop talking right after that and let people fucking figure it out. Because it's not hard to figure out a guy who has graduated through violence, right? And is graduated through this crazy political ideology, did what he did.
Again, though, it's just like the video. Try to find me the video. You can see where it's clearly cut. Try to find me the video of the car driving into the crowd.
Yeah, it's rough.
No, you can't. They don't show it.
Not on any mainstream site, no.
No, they don't show it anywhere.
No, you're gonna have to go look somewhere else for that.
But they show Rittenhouse. It's just not. It's just so fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. Media sucks.
I'll tell you what is great.
Yeah, you can do that.
Dude, ghost beds are the fucking greatest. Are they running 40% off right now?
Yeah, they still get that shit going on.
Yeah, 40% off.
Ghostbed doesn't fuck around.
Ghostbed does not. Ghostbed does not fuck around. Incredible reviews. And the cool thing about Ghostbed is, me and you've talked about this so much. Definitely my number one favorite feature is the recoil they have on them, right?
Or don't have, yeah.
Or they don't have, right? Like whether you're over there and you're like Dan, and you're trying to, what would you say? Give Brittany a good time, or anybody.
Wow, that was awkward.
Me, or wait a minute. Giorgio, is that why Giorgio's not here?
Yeah, I fucked him up.
You fucked him up. Or you're like me and Dan, and I'm trying to do a puzzle, while he's trying to take a nap, Ghostbed's recoil is perfect. It has the cooling technology, it's got the badass mattress cover that is good for when you spill all kinds of shit on it.
A lot of weird liquids.
A lot of
weird liquids in bed.
Yeah.
Fluids. Maybe not liquids. Fluids. That's probably better.
Well, oh yeah, especially with the cedar fever down here, right? Your nose is running. Yeah. Definitely, that's for sure what it is. But yeah, so they also have the cooling technology. They got the sheets, pillow covers. Doesn't it come? I think that the 40% comes with 2 pillow covers.
Covers?
2 pillows. Two pillows.
Yeah. Yep.
20-year warranty. They also have a pay-as-you-go option, which is really badass.
It might be one free pillow.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Go check it out. But you can go check it out, ghostbed.com/drinkingbros. That's ghostbed.com/drinkingbros for the best mattress in the world. And look, I'm a doctor. I know. And I'll tell you this. I don't know. And you can confirm this or not. But and maybe Dan Jr. can confirm this. I don't know of anyone who has died of COVID that sleeps on a ghost bed. Do you, Dan Jr.? Have you heard of any?
No, I sleep on a ghost bed. I haven't died yet.
Yeah, so there you go.
That's science.
That's science. I mean, that is science.
If you don't like it, you can go fuck yourself.
If you don't like it, you can go, hey, it's as much science as anything else we have heard.
Yeah, science. Trust the science.
Trust the science.
Cardimax Immune Booster. It's good. Cardimax Immune Booster. Still running the code American to get 30% off your next 4 orders. It's got natural ingredients that keeps the body in shape and promotes your ability to adapt to stressors and increase muscle endurance and things like that. It's a good supplement to a good pre-workout. It comes in orange and watermelon. I'm an orange guy.
You
Although
are.
They have a new flavor coming out soon. For a limited time, you get 30% off your next 4 orders if you can't place. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 40% off your next 4 orders. If you go to cartamax.com, use the promo code American. I'm actually drinking some now. It's very good. Easy to mix liquid packet. Sean Matson, Cartamax, Navy SEAL. Get it.
Yeah, and let's, as a doctor, I'll put my second opinion in on it. No one, and maybe between Cartamax and the Cartamax Immunity Booster, no one that has been drinking it consistently, for sure, no one's been drinking it, has died of COVID that we know of.
I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't either. And if you mix that with a ghost bed, you're literally talking about pretty much immune to anything.
I wouldn't take that chance. Like, I wouldn't pour it on a fucking snake bite or anything.
You wouldn't?
No. But, you might be right. I don't know.
Well, here's what I'm going to say is I'll ask anybody who died if they had been taking their Cartamax and sleeping on a ghost bed. I'll ask anybody who dies.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll fund that whole thing.
Yeah.
Next up is Overland, a family-owned American heritage brand that's put comfort and quality first for nearly 50 years. They offer outerwear, accessories, and home decor made from sustainable natural fibers like sheepskin, leather, and wool. Overland uses expert craftsmanship to pair the highest quality merino sheepskin, which is a naturally moisture-wicking, temperature-regulating, and antimicrobial, with supportive memory foam midsoles in order to make slippers that feel better and wear better for longer. Slippies. I wear these every goddamn day.
Dude.
And Brittany wears hers every day. As a matter of fact, she was yelling at me earlier. Why are you always moving my slippers? I'm like, I haven't moved them ever.
Yeah.
Not once. They make really good shoes for men and women. It's pretty much all we wear when we're around the house. I doubt we'll ever wear anything else, including regular shoes. And I used to wear Crocs around a lot, not anymore.
Dude, these are badass.
They're comfy as shit.
Yeah. It's almost like walking on clouds.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the best way to describe it. It's like walking on clouds. It's almost like you've got these little clouds in there just, holding up your feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're badass. And they keep your feet warm.
Yeah. Or cool.
Or cool, right?
My
Like,
feet
you
don't
don't-
really, that's the one thing. I like
Yeah.
wearing house shoes and slippers around a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm an old man and I want to be comfortable. But, man, some of them make your fucking feet sweat.
Yeah.
And I don't need that in my life. I'm sweaty enough as it is.
In the military, we always taught, take care of your feet.
Yeah. Number one rule.
And these right here,
my Cadillacs.
These here are like heaven on your feet.
Feet like making love. If you want a pair
Yep.
of well-made, comfier than you could imagine slippers, these are the ones to get. Here's how you get them. And I'm not kidding. I wear them every day. They gave us some, and I've bought multiple more pairs since.
Well, you left one pair at my house that night. You stayed over.
All right. So don't wait another day to slip into something way more comfortable. Get the best, highest quality sheepskin slippers on the market at overland.com/American Party. You'll get free shipping and returns, and I recommend you go today because they sell out of shit pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I had to wait a couple weeks to get my last pair to get back in stock before I could order it, and that week was just terrible. So that's overland.com/American Party, overland.com/American Party. Get them slippies.
I'm not gonna lie, and not just slippers. Like, they have boots, they got rugs.
Yeah, their rugs are cool as shit,
Dude,
too.
I'm telling you exactly what I'm getting, and I'm gonna start wearing every fucking day. Is I'm getting their bomber jacket. Dude, they got this classic sheepskin B3 bomber jacket with detachable hood, bro. You talk about walking in ready to fuck something up.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what you want to see. You don't want to see a guy, like if you get your house broken into, you probably don't want to see a dude wearing slippies like that, because what message does it send?
No, but with a bomber jacket.
Yeah, with the bomber jacket.
Imagine
too. Like he's
slippies.
that comfortable,
Dude.
like you're done.
Dude, you're fucked.
You're fucking done. Anyway, speaking of being done.
Yeah, being done.
Getting to the name of this episode, Naughty Lorry. Lorry is, a truck in, Crash Fortatic. They're in Fairfield, Iowa. You're telling me that these slippers don't even exist? God damn it, man. I can't have anything in fucking life. Anyways, Naughty Lorry. Lorry is like a truck, delivery truck in England. And as you know, Douglas Murray is English. So that's the phrase he uses. I had our researcher look up a bunch of examples internationally of this kind of thing happening, like inanimate. And the reason that he calls it the Naughty Lorries thing is because he too thinks, as do a lot of people, that blaming inanimate objects for things is kind of fucking stupid. Because my gun sits on my desk all night. Hasn't tried to shoot me once, so far as I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be thinking about it, but it doesn't have the capability.
Yeah.
You need will and capability.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
the good thing is like, if anybody ever shows up to my house looking for guns, my guns don't identify as guns. Yeah. They identify as forks.
For now, yeah. But that's a spectrum. So they may identify something else later altogether different. You don't know. That's why it's probably a good idea to let your 3-year-old name themselves.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Because their 3-year-olds fucking know some shit. Imagine how stupid your fucking ideology has to be that you have to then sit there, think about it, and make up a reason, an excuse why a 3-year-old can make a fucking life-altering decision for you and them. Like, just think about how fucking stupid that is for a moment. Sometimes I like to do that because something will go wrong or I'll fuck something up and I'm like, God damn it. You know what I mean? And it's not that I'm necessarily am enjoying their suffering or anything, but it is nice to see that not only does everyone fuck up, but some people only fuck up. Hence, their fuck ups, right? And these lefty dum-dums with this shit. Like, oh man, my fucking 3-year-old, I'm gonna let him figure, like, what are you gonna get him a checking account too? He can cut his dick off, but he can't get a checking account.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck exactly are you drawing the line there, you stupid fuck? Anyways, so inanimate objects don't kill people. People kill people.
Yes.
I think that people kill people thing used to be like an NRA slogan back in the day. Huh? Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Not even that much with guns compared to other objects, but whatever. It's funny. Boy. So Naughty Lorry. The media coverage of the attack at Waukesha continues a long-standing tradition of obfuscating the truth when the truth is critical of what they consider to be a protected class. So, in Waukesha, the media focused on the vehicle, referred to the attack as a crash or a tragedy, and largely ignored the extremist ideology of Darrell Brooks.
Which he's proven a ton of.
Yeah, I mean, you can just go look it up now. I'm surprised that Zuck didn't ban all of his accounts so people can't look his shit up anymore. Let's see. In Kenosha, they turned Kyle Rittenhouse shooting 3 white men in self-defense into a mass shooting by a white supremacist militia member. As a matter of fact, there's a protest going on right now at Arizona State University. And it's it's the Arizona State Socialists of America or some whatever the fuck their stupid name is. Mm-hmm. And they're protesting because they want the university to tell Kyle Rittenhouse again never come to school there.
Yeah, which is insane.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? First of all, it's a public organization. They can't do that.
He did pull his name out though.
Yeah, he did. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to go there either. I mean, it's just fucking retarded. Anyways, similar examples can be found in the wake of terrorist attacks in Europe, especially, such as the 2015 Paris attacks. I'm sure everybody remembers that. In November of 2015, 9 members of the Islamic State launched an attack on 3 separate locations, including the Stade de France and Bataclan Theater, killing 130 people and injuring 416. Six years ago, by the way. Media outlets began searching for any way they could to avoid blaming Islamic extremism, which is a word that Obama, towards the end of his tenure, wouldn't even use.
Yep.
Which is kind of weird, man, because that's exactly what it is. Excuse me. Or better yet, turn it into a positive story for Muslims. So soon after the Paris attack, a story was published that claimed a Muslim security guard turned away one of the suicide bombers outside of the Stade de France. The story spread around the world before being fact-checked and was later found to be false.
What?
Yeah, they made it up. They made it like Juicy Smollett. They made up some fictional black hero. Or in his case, he's the black hero, and then in the other case is the fucking Muslim hero. To like, hey, some people did some things, but at least there's you don't need to do that, man, because I don't give a fuck. There are 1.7 or 1.8 billion Muslims on Earth. If they wanted to fuck us all up, they would be fucking us all up right now. Nobody that's reasonable believes that shit.
And
you don't
again,
have to. Every time one Muslim does something, I don't need you to remind me that there are good people that believe in those dumb fairy tales. I know that.
And again, if you look at who's having to lead the fight against extreme Muslims, who is it?
It's only going to be
Muslims.
Muslims
are leading
Muslims
the
are
fight.
the only people that can win that fight.
But again, I'm saying, like, when you go to Iraq, Afghanistan, who is forefronting the war against?
I would think that a regular Muslim would be thankful that somebody would distinguish between them and the fucking crazy asshole trying to blow himself up.
I mean, Christians are glad that the KKK is separate from Christianity.
Yeah, it's bad PR.
It's terrible.
Like you're reading the room wrong, guys. You should be focusing on the distinction between good and bad people, not the distinction between Muslim people and Christian people and atheist people and Jewish people and fucking Buddhist people and Hindu people or whatever the fuck else exists.
Yeah,
it is irrelevant.
Well, I think what you're getting mixed up is never let the facts ruin a good story.
An article written by Douglas Murray in 2016 describing the reasoning behind fake story is such. Excuse me. Douglas Murray writes, quote, "In the wake of an Islamist terrorist attack, people need people opposed to the bombers to be Muslim and the bombers themselves to not be Muslim." So both sides are asking for something stupid. Like it's like going to a Muslim person in America and telling them to fucking apologize for something some Muslim person did somewhere else. Right? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't at all.
And it also doesn't make any sense that we can't just say the bomber was Muslim.
It's fucking crazy.
If it is a salient fact. Then the good Muslim can represent Islam, while the bad Muslims can be said to have nothing to do with it. On March 22nd, 2016, another terror attack was carried out in Belgium. 3 suicide bombers associated with the Islamic State terror group detonated bombs at the Brussels airport and Malbeek metro station, killing 32 people and injuring 340 more. Telegraph columnist, Alison Pearson, posted a tweet the following morning, which attempted to turn the attention away from ISIS and place the blame on the EU. Her tweet was as follows, quote, "Brussels, de facto capital of the EU, is also the jihadist capital of Europe, and the Remainers dare say we're safer in the EU."
What?
Hashtag Brexit.
So.
Yeah. Pearson attempted to use a tragedy to promote her political ideology.
That is fucking...
as many people, journalists, and politicians continue to do across Europe and the U.S. while downplaying the involvement of a so-called, quote, protected class. Again, in 2016, another ISIS terrorist murdered a truck driver before using the vehicle to kill 12 people and injure 55 others. At first, it was believed the perpetrator was Polish due to the Polish license plate and registration, but upon inspection of the vehicle, the driver's dead body was found lying inside. Similar to the response to the attack in Waukesha, The media soon began placing the blame on anything and anyone but the extremists that carried out the massacre.
So do you think, so look, obviously this is a pendulum. Do you think it's going to swing back?
Yeah, that's the problem. If you're trying to balance an ecosystem, which is what you do when you bring a bunch of different cultures together.
Yeah.
You want to obey the laws of conservation of energy, which is to say, if you push a thing once, it's going to swing and swing and swing until it naturally finds an equilibrium in the middle somewhere, right? Or some livable space.
Yeah, this is way over here. And when this motherfucker comes back, it's kind of like the police thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the police thing, everybody's like, oh, fuck the police, defund the police. Well, now the police are going to come back stronger than ever.
Yeah, with a lot less oversight.
With a lot, yeah.
Which is not great. But so in response to that case where the ISIS guy fucking cut some dude's head off, basically, and then drove his truck through a crowd of people again, the BBC ran a headline seeming to place the blame on the vehicle. Again, this is fucking 5 or 6 years ago, so it's nothing new. The BBC article says, quote, Lorry kills 9 Christmas at Christmas market. So an American truck kills 9 at Christmas market. Truck, Lorry, not the fucking ISIS asshole.
Yeah.
Right? Nigel Farage chose to use the attack to smear his political opponent, Angela Merkel, saying events like these will be the Merkel legacy. You know what I mean? It's just like, shut the fuck up, dude.
I mean, and you look at, like, even, like, let's check this out, right? So this kid that shot up that school yesterday, they're already putting his name out, shooter, and they're even saying the 9mm. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. It's whatever fits the narrative, right? And here's the problem that Douglas Murray kind of attacks in this naughty Lorry theory, and it's anyone acting violently in the name of Islam equals nothing to do with Islam. Small sect behaving nicely in the name of Islam equals true Islam. Who are you to say otherwise? You're a fucking bigot, right? But that's not how anything works, science or anything. It is a meritocracy, ultimately. Something is either true or it is not true. The truth is that the vast majority of Muslims on earth aren't particularly violent compared to anybody else.
Yep.
Right? It's just not true that that's the case. So you can accept that. It's also not true that Islam doesn't have a higher proclivity for violence right now on earth, at least from the experience of the Western world, because there are religions that we think of as beyond violence, like Hindu and Buddhists, who have been fighting each other in different parts of the world for years, right?
Well, but
irrespective of Western culture. But just for Western culture, Islam has been pretty dangerous.
Well, let me try to point out why. Mm-hmm. And this is obviously a doctor's theory, so it's worth how much my degree is. The Western world, which is, we would say, the most relaxed. Wouldn't you agree with that, Dan?
Yeah.
What is their primary religion?
It's Christianity.
And this is the difference. Well, let me finish. Mm-hmm. But this is the difference between the Islam. Imagine if the Western world still went off of the Old Testament.
Right. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like that's the separation factor of why.
Well, Jews still do, right?
Well,
but not really. They've grown up, I guess, and they don't take the violent.
Islam just needs a New Testament.
They need to understand that the violent allegory and metaphors aren't really about that. Like the jihad, most Muslims actually know this. The jihad isn't about. There was 2 types.
Exactly.
The most important jihad is the one to be a good person, basically, for lack of a better phrase, not to fucking murder people who don't look like you.
100%.
So Christianity is just, and Judaism mostly has just grown up. That's it, because they were all violent for a while. Even the New Testament was pretty goddamn violent. At any rate, according to Murray again. I'm sorry. It's that you're trying to set up this what's it called? No true Scotsman. No true Scotsman fallacy. So it's like it's almost like the predetermination shit in Calvinism. I don't know how deeply you understand, the sects of Christianity, but they're the ones that believe in predestination.
Oh,
Like, well, if you didn't do what you were supposed to do and get into heaven, then you were never supposed to in the first place, right?
oh, like it's
all right,
like
cool.
it's not off your actions,
Right. So
Oh,
basically,
no.
it's like the same argument people make for socialism. It just hasn't been tried correctly yet, I guess. Like my version of socialism is good. Somebody else's isn't. If it's something else, that's not real socialism.
Yeah.
No true Scotsman. So, person
So-
one.
This is kind of like Instagram, right? Like they can create their own reality.
Yeah, and it's they're kind of embracing like a complete logical fallacy. So it's like person one says no Scotsman puts sugar in his porridge. Person two says, but my uncle is a Scotsman and he put sugar in his porridge. And person one says, but no true Scotsman puts sugar in his porridge, which is you're making
Yeah.
you're making an empirical claim about something based on your own interpretation.
What you've just
That's-
said is
Nothing.
yeah. So that's like look, we have the ability to create our own reality, but just because it's your truth or my truth doesn't mean it's the absolute truth.
Right. Yeah, you're free to believe whatever you want.
Yeah,
But
you mean-
you're not free to force people to participate in your fucking delusion.
Do you believe in the spaghetti monster?
Yeah, flying spaghetti monster,
Yeah.
touched by his noodly appendage. I remember that. That's actually from your state, isn't it?
I don't know, is
It was a Kansas school board that the guy wrote the letter to originally. Yeah, I used to have the gospel of the flying spaghetti monster.
Really?
It's really funny. It was like, in the mid 2000s, all those funny, like Tucker's books came out, and then what was not the Art of Manliness, but the Alphabet of Manliness or some stupid shit like that, where it had, it was like a coffee table book with a bunch of funny shit in it, A to Z. Anyways,
So do you pray to the spaghetti monster?
no, I don't pray.
Yeah.
Although there is plenty of evidence that suggests prayer or meditation or mindfulness or whatever it happens to be, if done correctly, does have a positive emotional and physiological effect on human beings. So I don't know what that is.
Cool.
There's certainly something to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so no true Scotsman. People attempt to defend their own generalizations by dismissing counterexamples as not being a real representation of their generalization. And you can do the inverse of that too. Like all white people are violent because of one thing that happened. Like, no, that's not how that works. Until people stop allowing their opinions to be formed by the media and politicians and start investigating facts for themselves, this is the kind of stupid shit you're going to see.
100%.
Because people will study and research only to the point of confirming their own biases and no further. Violent groups will continue to produce violent members who in turn will carry out attacks on innocent people, whether it's organized or a single person. It's just going to continue happening. So, there's no way you can. What are your choices here exactly? Do you want to fucking recess, like everybody go back with your own kind and protect each other?
Yeah.
Right? Is that where you want to go? Or do you want to actually live this life?
Well,
You better fucking figure it out.
better figure it out because it's here.
Yeah. We'll see you in hell.